I think this will be a bittersweet experience for the Catholic community, and every time Easter comes around, it will be a memory of it. But I know because they have the faith and they believe in the whole how to put it. I'm not a Catholic, so I want to be very, very sensitive when I'm talking. Because of their faith, let me leave it at that. They wouldn't see that as something to just moan about. They will see the happy side in it, the lighter side, and the side of where he's going to meet with his Lord and Savior. Right? So, let's start to talk about who. Hi, Rosalind. They don't start to talk about who might be the Pope to replace the Pope, Papa. Them talks, them is serious talk, them don't stick. So, I was seeing something here, I'm going a little bit. Hi, Tessa. And it says, who will be the next Pope? So, this is, come on, man, thing, not this hour. Hi, Anton. So, this was in the Explainer. In fact, it was www.aljazeera.com. Right? Who will be the next Pope after Francis? The selection process. What's next? Just read a little bit. So Pope Francis died on Monday morning at the Vatican. Just now. Pope Francis died on Monday, the Vatican announced. Days after he was discharged from hospital after undergoing treatment for a complex respiratory infection. He was 88 years old. His death, 12 years after he was declared Pope, has prompted renewed questions about who will succeed him as leader of the Catholic Church, one of the oldest and largest religious institutions with up to 1.39 billion followers. So, let me see who are the people. So, a successor has yet to be chosen. The College of Cardinals, comprised of senior Catholic clergy, many appointed by Francis himself, will elect the next Pope. To be eligible, a candidate must be a baptized male Roman Catholic. For centuries, the cardinals have exclusively selected someone from their ranks. There are currently more than 240 cardinals worldwide. They typically hold the title for life. So, how is a new pope chosen? Cardinals below the age of 80, when the pope dies or resigns, vote in what is known as the papal conclave. To prevent outside influence, the conclave locks itself in a Sistine Chapel and deliberates on potential successors. So let me look and see who are some of the successors, Papa. Okay. It says here, who could be the next Pope? As of January 2025, there are 252 cardinals, 138 of whom are eligible to vote in the election of the new leader of the Catholic Church. While cardinals are appointed for life, voting eligibility ends at age 80. The new pope will be the 267th pontiff. So they have some names here, right? If I don't pronounce some of the names, they'll only know me. Cardinal Peter Erdu, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Cardinal Peter Turkson, Cardinal Luis Tagle, Cardinal Marco Grish, Cardinal Matteo Zuppi. Now all the standard ones are Cardinal Peter Turkson, and Cardinal Luis Tagle. So let me see. One is from Africa and one is from Asia. So the next time we could probably have a pope from Africa or a pope from Asia. So who is Meet Peter Turkson, Ghanaian? What do you think of? All I just know this whole thing just come up and blow. I don't understand these people. Right. No. He's Ghanaian. And because of the fact that something just come and block the whole story. Right. This is what it looks like. Yeah. So it says here, As the world mourns the death of Pope Francis, the Catholic Church now faces a critical moment in choosing its next spiritual leader. The Vatican confirms that Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday at his residence at Casa Santa Marta within Vatican City, setting in motion the process to select a successor. Cardinal Peter Turkson, a Ghanaian prelate who may make history as the first black pope, is among the top contenders for the papacy. Turkson, previously the Bishop of Cape Coast, attracted notice abroad when Pope Benedict XVI named him a peace envoy to South Sudan. While stressing respect for local cultural norms, Turkson has spoken out against anti-LGBTQ plus policies in Africa. According to ET Now, he is a major player in the 2013 conclave selecting Pope Francis and is still a revered moderate voice inside the church. Originally appointed cardinal by Pope John Paul II in 2003, Turkson presently acts as the Pontifical Academic of Science Chancellor. He studied, let me see, Papa, he comes from a family of 10 from Western Ghana, and he started his seminary education in New York as well as Ghana. They say he speaks German, French, Italian, and English, as well as known for his intellectual depth in worldwide viewpoint. So he's looking like he could Pope Benedict XVI invited Turkson to Rome in 2009 to head the Pontifical Council for Justice and Peace, a post he kept until Pope Francis. So people, he started as the first prefect of the newly established dicastery for promoting integral human development in 2016. Okay, so he well qualified. Let me see the next one now. So that is from Africa. So we could end up with a black pope. Oh God, let me tell you something. This year of Jubilee, really will be Jubilee and truth, you know. So the next one, he's from Asia, is Luis Antonio Tagel. So Luis Antonio Gokim Tagel, born June 21st, 1957, a Filipino prelate of the Catholic Church, currently serving as the pro-prefect for the section of first evangelization of the dicastery for evangelization. As the president of Interdicasterial Commission for Consecrated Religion since December 8, 2019, he's the 23rd Archbishop of Manila from 2011 to 2020. Tagel is the Cardinal Bishop of San Felice de Cantalice of Cantosile, Olia. Papa is words and words of us. Two outstanding ones they have is Luis Antonio Gokim Tagel, he's Filipinese. He's from the Philippines. And then we have Peter Turkson from Ghana. So them is the standout. So we wait and see how the thing go, right? So that's just some news there from, we just go international and thing, and just paying tribute to Pope John Paul, sending from the We Talk D Ting, we send our condolences to the Catholic community and to the family of Pope Paul, to the Pope, and to the people of Italy, Rome, and all over, right? Let me continue. Tobago, Ollie. Hi, France. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Robert. Ollie, let me tell you something. Something ain't right in Tobago. Something ain't right in Tobago. Something ain't right in Tobago, Ollie. It ain't right. But you know what? I tell all of this here, the Jubilee. Talk had to talk, thing will come out. Wrong will be put right. All I think is joke I'm making, everybody mouth go get loose. And they got to talk the truth. So Fali Chavez Agustin, listen to his behavior at one of the TPP, whatever, meeting.
opportunity to exact some revenge on our own. And so when you are going to the polls, you are going to treat with the disrespectful behavior of the stink and dirty red team who do not care about the people of Tobago. Opportunity to exact some revenge on our own. And so when you are going to the polls, you are going to treat with the disrespectful behavior of the stink and dirty red team who do not care about the people of Tobago.
Right.
Opportunity.
Imagine that is the leader of the TPP who wants to be a big negotiator because he tell himself them go win the 2 seats in Tobago and them could be Prime Minister Mika and hold this country to ransom. But he wants to continue leading the teacher. Like, are we talking about other citizens in Tobago as stink and dirty from the red team? That's why I put on my red because I must see stink and dirty too. Yeah, I don't understand how that come. But one of the people on them, some Mr. Thomas something, went in somebody's yard, they tell him don't come in the yard, but he still come in and something happened and he get something, whatever. So I don't know if that is disrespect that Fally talking about, but listen to what the gentleman said about that situation. The gentleman was very clear in what he said, and he admitted, yes, no? He admitted, but listen to what he admitted to after the Thomas man come out and talk about he was assaulted and this and that. I know somebody tell you come out the place, you should come out the place. If they tell you don't come in the yard, don't go in the yard, stand up by the road and throw your voice and talk. If while you're in the road, the government road and the rush you, that case. You see, if you go in the yard, they tell you don't come in, you go in the yard, you walk in the house, they tell you come out, you want to come out, you want to sit down instead, what can I? So listen to what the man explained.
So what occurred that caused Mr. Thomas to be pushed out more than once?
When I came upstairs, I met him in the house. I said, Mr. Thomas, how are you doing? Right? And we had a little small talk back and forward. You understand what I'm saying? Because somebody who I know, I said, Mr. Thomas, your time is better spent somewhere else. This is a PNM group. You understand? And he came up with something. I said, listen, I said, MB for Tobago East. Right? They are my son's aunt. Just what I told him. And I said, you know, and we had a little back and forth, and then I asked him to leave. On 3 occasions, I asked him to leave. He said, you can't put me out from here because this is not your house. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is me and my sister's house, was built to us by our grandmother. On 3 occasions, I then proceeded to hold the chair that he was sitting on because, as I told you, he entered the home uninvited, which you will get the information from my niece after me. You understand what I'm saying? But he got up at the same time and he walked out. And then he turned to come back in the house. That is when I pushed him outside. I did push him. I forcefully pushed him out of the house.
Alright? You hear the man talk there. And again I say, if somebody tell you come out the house, use not just stand up to tell them that it's not your house, whoever, because you don't know for sure. Come out the people's house. If when you're going out, you turn back to come back in and they push you and tell you come out, to me, you're wrong. But we will see how that goes. So I don't know if it's that Fally talking about how no respect and all that. I don't understand that. And even if that's how you will talk to the members of your party about another party, all there's one family at the end of the day because Tobago is much smaller than us and all more tap in family connection than we in Trinidad. So whether they're red, they're yellow, they're blue, whatever it is, at the end of the day, after the election, all they have to live there, right? Okay. So it has nothing called respect again. Well, Papa, only listen to Watson. This voice sounds like Watson Solomon joke. I don't know what's going on in Tobago. Listen to this audio. And if it's joke, let me tell you why I'm inclined to believe it. Because it's of my opinion that I feel joke does dabble in necromancy. That is my opinion. That's my opinion. We see certain thing in PSL, now thing and whatever, and I come to the conclusion, me ain't gonna be surprised if he don't double. Me ain't say he doesn't. I say it's my opinion. I think. Thinking don't mean it really does happen. So listen to this voice that sounds like Watson Drew.
All mutual funds are not the same. That symbol is totally an occult symbol. Where have you seen an anchor with lips? Look at the lips. Look at the space between the lips. That is not an anchor. Look at the joker. All mutual funds are not the same. That symbol is totally an occult symbol. Where have you seen an anchor with lips? Look at the lips. Look at the space between the lips. That is not an anchor. Look at the joker. Look at how his lipstick protrudes on his lips. Now look at the anchor. That is not the top of an anchor. That's a man being crucified. You can see the clear separation of the legs, and you can see the outstretched hands and the head. That is not TPP. That is QTP. That sign is square. The Q represents square. Queer Tobago people. Look at their lifestyle. It is open and it's square. It's different. Tobago people. This sign symbolizes witchcraft at its highest level. This sign is placed in a square black box, a coffin. This sign, it is alleged, carries an anchor. Anchors are not known for stabilizing ship. Anchors are known for preventing ships from going forward. This is why Tobago is not going forward. This is why things are so hard. This is why we are resorting to 10 on, 10 off. This is why people are picking up trash for $2,100 a month. This is why God is vexed with Tobago. This is why 1 year after coming into office, after I left them, God sent a devastating weather that resulted in 76 landslides in 1 year. So this is a situation where we have an oil spill resulting in 35,000 barrels of oil being spilled right outside Lowlands and throughout Scarborough Central. This required 60 barrels of waste to take that up. This is not an ordinary situation where persons are murdered in broad daylight. At least we have had 25 persons being murdered, gruesome murders last year. This is not Tobago's People Party. This is a party that does not include you, Tobago, but your wealth and the lives of Tobagonians. Stop it.
Whether or not you like Juke, you believe Juke or not, you have to say like, because you hear the fellow who was the whistleblower come out and talking something. You hear how the Boney and this one and that one was stopped. Listen to me now. Sometimes you have to listen to a certain thing, you know, because sometimes the messages come in some weird kind of vessel, you know. There is alleged that is somebody Muma who doing the works that is so holy. It is alleged, Papa. Anyways, Tobago, check all yourself. So I'm saying that Nizam Mohammed is saying that sorry about that little noise. Only ignore Mark, you know. If Marky had something where he could have get hard for, he would not be here trying to get hard. But when you're soft and it was stimulation, I don't know, it was probably come under the We Thing. We don't roll like that, Mark, yeah? Go get your own. So this was April 21st, 2025. CNC3 News. Muslims told to withhold votes over Syrian repatriation. Head of the Repatriation Committee, Nizam Mohammed, has called on Muslims to withhold their votes unless Prime Minister Siertiong or opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar makes a firm commitment to repatriate nationals who remain stranded in refugee camps in Syria. There must be no reparation, no vote, Mohammed declared during a press conference at the committee's office in San Fernando. On the brink of tears, he added, the Muslim community cannot wait any longer. We are dealing with the defenseless women and children who are facing abuse. Government data confirms that more than 100 nationals are currently detained in Syria, including at least 56 children and 20 women, most of whom are held at the Al-Rug and Al-Hol camps. Mohammed said the government has ignored repeated requests and criticized the reliance on Task Force Nightingale, claiming it has failed to make progress over the past 7 or 9 years. They are not equipped, they are not qualified, and they have done absolutely nothing, he said. They are sitting on us, the Muslim community. He continued, politicians are our servants, not our masters. We, the people, have rights. We are human beings. Stop the politicking and pay attention to the Muslim community we are hurting. Mohammed accused the government of violating international human rights laws. He urged Muslims, especially in constituencies like San Fernando West, to withhold their votes unless the government gives an unequivocal commitment to bring home the women and children. There is no point in voting, he said. We cannot abandon our mothers, sisters, and children. That is not in our DNA. It is impossible. He also appealed to religious leaders of all faith to speak out. If I have my way, I will take 2 or 3 of us and go to the bishop. I will go down on my knees and beg him, say something for our people. I will go to the bishop, the Dharmacharya, the IRO, even the president of Trinidad and Tobago. She cannot preside over a country without a conscience. It cannot happen. He said girls in the camp face abuse while boys are separated from their mothers and placed in detention centers. They're exposed to all kinds of abuse. Mothers are trying to protect their children, but they're helpless. Our women and children, we do not joke with that. They are our lives, Mohammed said. He added that the situation cannot continue. And he went on, right? So I'm going to be very sensitive here in what I'm saying because I'm not a part of the Muslim community and I don't know much about that whole situation, all right? I just want to answer a couple questions, right? How did those women and children end up there in that war-torn situation? How did they end up there? Where are the men? If they were, because I know Muslim women going by themselves, so it had to be the husband or something. How did they end up there? Who called them there? Who sent for them to go there? So they went there and then have a next plan that if things didn't work out, how to get back home. They went, is it willingly, into a country where I'm thinking we considered a terrorist. So I think it work out. I don't get, no, I understand the humanitarian side of it. Don't get me wrong, I could very well imagine the type of condition the women and children are living under. However, Mr. Mohammed, with all due respect, speak about human rights and this rights and their rights and all that. What about our rights? We as citizens don't have rights in this country. So you're speaking about the Muslim community and their rights. What about the Christian community and their rights? The Rastafarian community and their rights? Those who are atheists, their rights? And I could go on and on. We like to talk about rights of people when it's in your corner, but you know the only rights we don't like to talk about, the rights of people of African descent. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that I commented. But again, I do not play light of the situation that Mr. Mohammed and the community going through. But to tell a community don't vote will not help your situation or make it worse, because if you didn't vote, they still will be in Syria. They ain't coming out, they're not getting out. So what's the purpose of saying don't vote? And if you're saying the UNC hasn't made any commitment, and the PNM hasn't made a commitment, so you don't vote, God forbid the UNC come into power, what commitment they're going to make? So what difference is it going to make, Mr. Mohammed, that you need to encourage people from the Muslim community not to vote? I think that is a weak position to take. I think you say that you're going to talk to this one and that one, but go and do it. Talk to the Archbishop, you're going to talk to, that's what, go and lobby and do that. What I had to do with telling people don't vote? I'm just trying to understand. But again, I hope that this situation worked out, but I am saying at the end of the day, it is not as simple, in my opinion, as Mr. Mohammed is trying to make it. You're talking about people who, when they get back here, they have to have extensive counseling because they don't know the kind of horrors they would have seen. I could well imagine they see neck chop off, head chop off, body blow up, all this kind of thing, and children seeing that and whatever. What will they be their behavior when they come back? Will they have to be put in extensive counseling? Will the community keep? It's a lot of stuff. I don't think it's as easy as that. And then, would their name not be added on the terrorist list or some kind of thing? I don't know. I'm just asking. But I hope that it does work out. But my thing is telling people don't vote. Who are you to tell people not to vote? Who are you to tell the Muslim community not to go and vote? I don't think that is fair. So they have no choice. I'm just asking. So let me continue. So the Archbishop has warned against fanciful promises being made, come no man thing, by some politicians. And we know why the politicians make any fanciful promises, because whatever they're promising, taking me straight to the IMF, economists have come out and said that what they're promising is not feasible, it can't work, it's not realistic. So we know exactly is the UNC. Because they didn't say, the economists and them did not say, coming out of the manifesto being presented to the nation recently, me and see none of them jump out yet and say it's unrealistic. And I think that is what, by now, they would have read it and come and say something. I haven't seen anywhere they say it's unrealistic, it's fanciful. I ain't hear that, but I hear that's what they say about the UNC promises. So this was in the Guardian, the Archbishop said 20 hours ago, well, no, it's not 20 hours ago. Hi, Angela Reach. Roman Catholic Archbishop Jason Gordon has urged political parties in the April 20th general election race not to make fanciful promises to the population that they know cannot materialize. That's the UNC. He said such promises are dishonest. Gordon was speaking on Guardian Media yesterday after celebrating Easter Sunday Mass at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception in Port of Spain yesterday. Gordon also warned political parties against rhetoric that divides the country. Again, that's the UNC. That is my opinion, ahead of the general election, reminding the country politician that there will be life after polling day. Tell them that in Tobago. He said at the end of this, on April the 29th, we still have a country, and on the 29th, we are still one people. On the 29th, we still have to live together, and on the 29th, we are still going to work with each other, sitting next to each other, all over the place. Please do not divide us, Archbishop Gordon said. Direct that to the UNC. Please give us big ideas and big vision and show us where you really want to go. Don't give us fanciful things that you know cannot be done. That's just not honest. Give us real things that you know you can do in 5 years and let us choose the best one forward. The head of the Roman Catholic Church also had a message for the electorate. He said those tasked with voting on April the 20th have an important job, but he called on the populace to pray before voting. He said, the national anthem has a beautiful line. Every creed and race must find an equal place. We can't do voting by race. We have to do voting by ideas, by issues, and by what takes our country forward. By who has a vision for this country and to unite the country and to bring it into the 21st century. He went further, urging, firstly, you have an obligation to vote. It is not only a civic responsibility, it's also a spiritual responsibility. Democracy is not the best form of government, but it is the best we have, and therefore we have to participate fully in it. Secondly, pray and discern. This idea that I born this and I will die that, no. You ask God to show you who is the best to take us forward, and then when you do that, with your clear conscience on the 29th, when you wake up, whoever the government is, and that government is the government of the whole people of Trinidad and Tobago. They are not the government of those who voted for them. Meanwhile, the Anglican Bishop Claude Berkeley also urged voters to pray before deciding who they would vote for. He said, it's a time of renewal and newness and transformation. We pray that people's spiritual lives have been boosted, that they are energized, and that they can exercise what is best for their nation, for their families, and for their communities. In that spirit, I would only say that people should be at prayer, they should be sober in their conversation, and have due respect for one another. Berkeley said he is hoping that the general election passes peacefully and in good order. So that's two spiritual heads there speaking, and they basically saying choose wisely. Be wary of who all you're voting for. Now, the reason why I'm going to play these two videos is for a purpose, and I'll tell you what it is. Jack Warner would have told us Kamala corrupt, she this, she that, she that. Philip Alexander said John fall down and she's the worst, and if people elderly abuse because she can't walk, all kind of thing. Roger says she corrupt. Irish Abdullah, David, Roger says she corrupt, and the list goes on and on and on. But when you look on the stage, Philip Alexander is there. Roger is there. And Jack Warner would have said the nastiest things too, but he's there too. And you ask yourself, what type of human beings are they to say all these things about this woman and this woman, and we believe them, and then they're going up under the same woman? It makes us start to say, But I want to tell you something. One person who also says she corrupt, and his party, two people from his party, speak about a kleptocratic government, the UNC. The reason why I'm going to play it, because of David Abdullah and MSJ. Because when he said that in 2020, I have to give him credit. He has not aligned himself with Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the UNC to this day. So because of that, I give him this credit, and I am more likely to believe what he has said, because he has said it and he stood his ground on principle and character, which Jack don't have, Philip don't have, Roger don't have, none of them have. So I want to remind all again, because again, voting have consequences, and be careful who you vote for. Listen to Mr. Abdullah, please.
Leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, admits that former Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar knew about corruption in her government but did nothing to stop it. During an MSJ meeting in Marabella, Mr. Abdullah, who hopes to form the next government, recalled a meeting in 2012 when he was part of the People's Partnership Administration. He said he brought to Mrs. Persad-Bissessar's attention that corruption would bring down the government.
She herself agreed with me and then said she can't do anything about it. She's not going to do anything about it. So she was part of the corruption if she was not prepared to stop the corruption. Because there are sins of omission and sins of commission. And if you know something is wrong and you don't do anything about it, then you are as guilty as the wrongdoer is.
He then warned the listeners to be aware of her apologies, reminding them about Little Red Riding Hood.
Now she's trying to rebrand herself and reinvent herself, saying that she apologized for the errors, going around and hugging up people and so on, playing grandma. Well, I want to remind you about the story of Little Red Riding Hood, because the wolf ate Grandma and then put on Grandma's clothes and took Little Red Riding Hood down the road.
Right? That was David Abdullah. And as I said, Out of all of them who say all kind of thing about Kamla Prasad Bissessa being corrupt, drunk, this, that, all kind of thing they say. He too would have said it, but you know what is different with him than them? He has more principle and character than them because he said it in 2010 and he had joined them back. He stay out of the whole thing, right? Listen to what two of his
seeking company. The MSJ and its leader David Abdullah does not care for the company of miserable, dishonest people. Imagine of all persons, Rudal Munilal, a man about whom there is nothing honorable, who is dishonest and unprincipled, and in the dictionary such a person is called a rogue. When you see he is trying to fabricate a story to tarnish the good name of David Abdullah, a man who walked away from corruption of the partnership government and who helped remove them from power, you know he is feeling, and this is Dr. Munilal, miserable and looking for company. Why would we say that Dr. Munilal is a miserable man? It all goes back to being part of the kleptocratic elites who are now currently out of power, the UNC. If you go to Wikipedia, it is clearly laid out for all to see and understand. A kleptocracy is a government with corrupt leaders, kleptocrats, that use their power to exploit the people and natural resources of their own territory in order to extend their personal wealth and political powers. Typically, this system involves embezzlement of funds at the expense of the wider population. A kleptocracy is a government ruled by corrupt politicians who use their political power to receive kickbacks, bribes, and special favors at the expense of the populace.
Okay, we heard that here. And because I said, David Abdullah would have stood on principle, and he continued to stand on that principle because he didn't go back and join the UNC like Roger, Jack, Philip, et al. So I'm telling you all on this Easter, I am inclined to believe what he said. And what they say is true also, because what he's saying is what they have said. But the difference between he and them, he had principle and character, them and had none. They're nasty, and they like the same thing they complain about. They love the corruption, that is my opinion. They love the nastiness, the thieving, the lying, the drinking, the follow. They love all of that. They love it. For what? I'm going to ask a question. For money? Let me just say this, that all people have a way to just say. When you see you take money for doing the wrong thing from people doing the wrong thing, you don't see a way, you know. You first you don't even see where the money go. Because that money ain't no good money. And when sometimes you say you're catching your ASS and don't understand why you're catching the ASS and everything coming down and your this coming down, sometimes it's the money that you take from them who doing wrong for you to do wrong. That thing is a serious thing, you know. Sometimes you have to remember what the elders say, you know. Let's remember what David Abdullah said. Again, voting have consequences and actions have consequences. Know who all you putting all your finger in ink for. I tell all of this yellow code, that is IMF. Anything yellow coming out from your body is infection. Me, I want that kind of code. That is IMF because of the fanciful promises that Kamla Prasad Bissessa, the same corrupt Kamla Prasad Bissessa and the corrupt UNC that David Abdullah speak about, I saying after he, them want you to take them serious and put them back into office. All you sit on home and say, I'm vexed. And voting ain't had no consequence. I don't bound to vote. And as I said last time, when you don't vote, you take away your voice. So we don't want to hear you when you complain about anything. When you vote, you have a voice. But when you don't vote, you're also giving the UNC an opportunity, especially them PNM people who want to say they want to vote. When only vote, only giving the UNC the opportunity. And I want to know if only want to go back under the UNC after all the vote amount resounded in 2015 and 2020. All the feelings that all they have, think about future, think about all the children future, because Kamala had no future. She had nothing. And there's normally say people who have nothing good going on in their life, they ain't happy in their life, they're unhappy, they don't care to see nobody else happy. They want everybody to feel like them. You hear what the man say? Miserable. I see Rudal Munila, Dr. Ungram, between two mascotting and going, looking like a pussy cat. Me, I see no tiger or lion or tabakile. Me, I see that. Anyways, so let me continue. Now, Anna Roberts is a swimming coach. And a lot of us would have said before, we understand he's a good coach. Get Jackie jacket, Jimmy boots and all that. However, our parents comfortable with this drunkard, this dirty stink mouth man, be coaching the children. A coach is supposed to be more than just somebody teach you to swim or dance or whatever it is, but must be somebody could emulate with morals and ethics, or is it all they don't care about that? Once all the children win competition, that is standard acts and all this setting, because this man said it so beautifully. Because as far as I understand, Anna Robert coaching swimming. I don't know if somebody waiting for an accident to happen. So listen to this gentleman here.
Tell me why Anna Roberts is still coaching our young athletes. Now, from what I've been told, he's probably one of the best swim coaches in Trinidad and Tobago. However, as far as I know it to be, and as far as I experienced it playing sports as a young person, a coach is supposed to be a sporting and life mentor. The character that Anna Roberts has shown us that he has over the years, plainly in the media, in many different arenas, whether it's in parliament, hotel videos, alleged hotel videos, videos around the savannah, etc., etc. He's not the type of man that our young people should be taking an example of or should be in a position of authority over. I could care less what anybody else says. That should not be the case. The Swimming Association should never allow Anna Roberts to coach our young people. The Ministry of Sport should not let Anna Roberts coach our young people. He should not be involved in sport in our country. Kovacs loss.
Right? And I concur. But it seems that parents or sporting clubs don't give a hell about it, and then they complain when the youths behave a particular way. Because if you have a man like that who does cuss people, say the nastiest thing about people, who pin small and who on couch and who pum and all those things, and because he's a good coach and all they want all the children to win medals, or they don't give a damn. Well, don't give a damn and all the children start to cuss all you. And all the children start to do all the wrong thing, drink, smoke, and get on lewd. Don't have a problem, because they're just following the coach. Oh, they're good, yes? So let me continue. Again, consequences have actions, or actions have consequences, and voting also has consequences. We talk about the young people. We are seeing a lot of young people coming out now and taking part, especially People's National Movement. We are seeing it. Kareem Master, the attorney from Beta, Mr. Birchwood. We are seeing Senator Rumi Kaula. She has been there a couple of years, but she's still young. We're seeing Ms. Ayana Webster Roy, Shanfa Kojo Lewis. They are still young people. Marvin Gonzalez, Brian Manning, MPs, with all due respect. Hans Devines. We are seeing it, and our own Prime Minister is also a young man, right? So there's no excuse to say one set of old people and old people and old people. They're young people. They're speaking out. They made a commitment. So this is Kareem Marcel speaking to his constituents. They are showing up and standing up.
One of the very first thing I want to commit to you, because you raised me, because when I didn't have money to go to school, I could have go by a neighbor, I could have gone by an uncle, I could have gone in the shop by myself and trust juice and water until my mother get paid next week. Because of that, I want to tell you here today that although I am stepping into a new role, that I am committing that once every month, as your member of parliament, that I would offer free civil legal consultation and services to the constituency of Atlanta. If you are from Laventille West and you want to do a deep poll, make an appointment by your member of parliament, because you send him and you raise him. Brothers and sisters, if you are having land matters and tenure issues, I am telling you, check your member of parliament.
That's young Kareem Marcel there coming out of Beta, and you'll remember when his mother and his family and friends went to celebrate the fact that he passed the bar. They got permission from who always needed to get permission so that the banner and the steel pan and all that. How one of Indian descent came out, he was so irate that he needed to go on his television program and speak about one and so what? Down in Bamboo, 20 this and how much that and all that. And then you want to turn around and speak about these at-risk communities and not even say, you know what, Kareem Marcel could be a role model for those young ones coming up. Yeah, use it as that, because Kareem Marcel is not the first academic young person coming out of Beta. They have a doctor, they have financial advisor, they have it, but he is the first attorney, right? And his family choose to do that. The other people in the community, family, they didn't choose to do that. His family chose to do that, and it became, and why would they not? Why not celebrate? And that's what we should do, celebrate, because when people of Indian descent, their family, anything, Bauchi, Nen, and Maxi, everything does come down to celebrate because they're proud. So why can't we also do it? But we are ridiculed when we do it. But when people of Indian descent do it, them is family and the culture. We need to be very, very careful when we train around these kind of behaviors, right? Because every creed and race find the equal place. So that is a young person there. I want to show you another young person because they're speaking out, they're coming out and they're speaking out because they're fed up of what they're seeing. So this is another young person. And this one, she has to listen to what she has to say, and then I'll play the other one. Just now.
Fish and run in the forest. If it reached that point, any wild west, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned for us as a people. Like when I read in some comments on some pages and stuff, I know I say shipness to but like I can't believe some of them. I really can't. Yeah, but what you say, the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Alright. I just want you all to be mindful because I am also confused. But whoever we voted for, we have to take into consideration the worldwide climate and the possibility of a worldwide recession, who the other leaders are and who our leader is going to be. If this is somebody who could de-escalate situations, diffuse situations, negotiate, represent the country, our country, and have plans for our economy to restart certain sectors, etc. And because who are some of these candidates? What are their portfolios? What's their education level? What have they done for their community? I just want to know that we know who these people are. Because we want to give other people a chance. I strongly believe that I just want someone who could properly lead this country in this very volatile worldwide situation right now, right? But I also don't know what these other people are capable of, who these people are, what can they do, how will they manage certain resources? I am so scared right now. Now is not the time to see, oh, let's just give this person a chance. You've seen some candidates, right? You need to take into consideration that these people are going to be members of parliament. They're going to be traveling around the world, meeting other worldwide leaders and members of parliament and saying, this is who we want to send up. This is who we want to send up.
Okay. That's a young lady.
You know what is a community center? It means that it's a center. There are some PNM landlords that seem so occupied. They took possession.
It's just ironic that would come up. But you only understand, the young people are listening and they are taking part. You hear what she said? All for giving a chance and all that, but in these times, these volatile times where you need somebody who could negotiate, somebody who can speak to our leaders, who could de-escalate, you need to know who you put in there. And when you look at them, she said she's scared. She's scared at when you look at them. And I am certain I know what she's speaking about, because when I watch them too, I always get scared. And the thought that them ever stepping a foot in our parliament. Young people, always step up, come out, always the deal breakers, always the game changers, not Farley and his shoppiness he talking in Tobago. But all they understand that all they always on their phone, and a lot of you all don't just be there for shoppiness. A lot of you all are there doing research, watching the news, watching YouTube, watching happening in America, and all the thing happening. They voted for Trump. And now every day they marching in America, they frightening America, people getting deported in America, tariff all over the place, contract pulling back, all kind of thing happening. So you all understand and know. I know you all are not foolish people, because you all are the ones to take over, right? Actions have consequences, and voting has consequences. Know who you're staining your finger for, not people with fanciful promises who will take us to the IMF. So let me continue, and who can sit down in front of nobody to negotiate nothing. So that's another young person there. Let me play this other one. And before I play it, I want to say this. Because she's addressing, this is what I call the person, the 100% piece of filth. She's addressing the 100% piece of filth. I say not to be fancy, I put my tongue between my teeth. Filth. Piece of filth and trash. Who want to come up and represent Port of Spain North, Sentence West. Like you see this. You get 380 something vote in 2020. This time, you might be able to count them on your two hands. That piece of 1% filth. Who responded to the fact that Trinidad and Tobago would have signed some air passage, airspace thing. I put it my way with Nigeria. So probably to have flights straight from here to Nigeria, business opportunities, cultural activities, tourism, and all that happening between Nigeria, which is a part of Africa, and Trinidad. And this piece of filth, this 100% piece of filth, had the worst to say to ask who does go Nigeria and all kind of thing. Before I play her thing, I want to tell that filth. We the enslaved Africans, descendants of the children of enslaved Africans, and we are the children of those enslaved Africans that was never slaves. They were enslaved. It's there we come from. And if travel is made easier now, we will be going Nigeria, because we must already go South Africa, we must already go Ghana. And we proud of Africa. Africa is not the fly round the mouth and belly and soul and all them thing. That is a long time thing. Africa is developed with skyscrapers. Business, Nigeria, oil, it a gas, it a business. You want to tell me we must go either America? Okay. Who the hell is you to tell we must go under the colonial masters? If Africa is not a place people want to go, why all of them in Africa taking all the wealth of Africa? You blasted fast and out of place, you red piece of 100% filth. When Kamala Prasad sister went to India, we wasn't vexed she went to India because Trinidad and Tobago have ties with India since in the days of Dr. Eric Eustace Williams, along with China. We had cultural ties. I remember baby Susan and them get scholarship to go India to do classical dance. And we was proud. We was proud. We didn't vex Kamala went to India. We know what we did vex about? She take $20 million of taxpayers' dollars, money, charter a whole plane that wait on the tarmac for them, and she went India to see she family. She ain't bring back India anyway, but bring back goodies too. You see that I block my life as I talk about it, because when I make any comment on the 100% piece of filth, and I get reported, and I can message or post message for about a half an hour. So probably he must be locked on and tuning, but all you're doing, blocking people live, shutting down people live, that ain't gonna stop the truthers like water. The truthers like water. It'll find a place to run. So as I was saying again, when all want to talk about African people, but you want to come and be candidate and representative member of parliament for Port of Spain or St. Anne's West, and plenty people look like me. But you want to discourage and disparage the whole idea of we going to Nigeria, you blasted fast and out of place. That's where we come from. If you don't want to go and look at the country your family come from, that is your business. But we come from Africa and we're proud. We don't shame Africa. This is not long time. We are the world and no big belly swallow. And no, them is a long time thing. I am not saying that may not have in certain parts in rural areas and all that, but let me tell you something, Africa developed. I see some train station in Africa cleaner than America. So when you want to come to tell we, basically, it's a waste of time that we have an air travel and anything to Nigeria, again I say, you blasted fast and out of place, a 100% piece of red filth. Let the young lady answer, you know. And you want to represent a multicultural country like this that have people who look like me? That when I saw them African who running after that piece of filth, or they have no self-pride and no self-worth and no self-esteem because he don't like all they just like Kamala Prasad says, I don't like we. Because she didn't even like she own. The pundit say so. I don't even feel Kamala like herself. In fact, I don't feel that piece of filth, that red piece of filth. I don't even think he like himself. And all them who stick up on the Kamala, I don't think them like themselves. Anyway, let the young lady answer. She will answer better than me.
You could never beat the allegations. Like, show your racial undertones a little less. You know, this was the first thing I see when I wake up this morning. And I must say, it was a very upsetting discovery to see that these are the kinds of people who are aspiring to be leaders of this country. How dare you suggest that nobody wants to go to Nigeria, Trinidadians want to go to America, Canada? I have been there, done that. There are many of us, descendants of these same Nigerians from the Benin tribe, right? You have your Yoruba tribes, you have Igbo tribes, a host of different tribes of persons who came to the Caribbean here, and due to the perils of chattel slavery, we as present day African descendants, we as the African diaspora lack that connection with the motherland. And there are a lot of persons who would love and take advantage of any opportunity to go to Nigeria or even any other African nation like Ghana, especially those in West Africa, because that is where we came from. So how dare you come now and suggest that we don't want to go there? Why? Because you have this elitist perspective and you have your biases pertaining to Nigeria, because what? How the media portrays Nigeria. Nigeria is very developed and has a lot of attraction. In fact, it is ranked in the top 30 of world economies. Nigeria is a booming country with lots of opportunity for oil and other forms of trade that Trinidad and Tobago can directly benefit from. And on top of that, this is the first time that any Caribbean country, I repeat, any Caribbean country will now have this opportunity to get direct flights from the Caribbean to Nigeria. So for you to come, I know this is the political season, and I know that we are, polarized differently. But for you to undermine the value in this and downplay Nigerians who don't speak for Trinidadians, at least don't speak for the Black community. People have been talking about repatriation efforts. People have been yearning for that deeper connection, and that's what you will come and say. Continue to show us that you are for the plantocracy, because hear this, you want us to go to countries like England. Colonizers, been there, done that, trust me, I've been there, done that, but still, these are the countries that we look up to. Instead of us encouraging people to connect with the origins and the roots, you discourage that. No, go to England, go to America. The same America that's trying to oppress smaller nations right now. The same America, right, that's trying to cut our strings and dictate to us as a sovereign nation who we should and shouldn't do business with. These are the countries that you all place on a high pedestal. But no, I come here to defend my Nigeria. We would go. You don't have to go, but we will.
Right? That's a young person again. That's a young person who understands what a piece of 100% filth is trying to do with his conversation. And you know what is even more insulting and disrespectful to people of African descent? The United Nations give you the next 10 years are the years of African peoples. That is something everybody should be applauding. Don't matter what race it is, because it's not only African people could go and travel there. All races could go and travel there. The same way that all of we could go China or India. But how dare you look down on the land of our ancestors, our enslaved ancestors, African ancestors' birth, to talk about we don't want to go there? Fast and out of place, a piece of filth. You get 300 and something votes in 2020. I tell you might have to count your votes on your hand, because that's all you might get. And anybody voting for you, especially people of African descent, they have no damn self-esteem. They have no pride. And they like the massa. They don't look at the people at eye level. as we are one people, equal, we just have different skin color, different texture here, but at the end of the day, all are we equal. We might want equity, but all are we equal. All of us watch down at them so. I'm going to talk about PNM. PNM is the only national party it has, so let me continue. Let me continue say quickly. So, know who you're voting for. Know who you're voting for and understand who you're voting for. While they're selling us dreams, and fantasies, the PNM has been real. With our Prime Minister Stuart Richard Young, being real. Not REEL.
Public service delivery is something that is near and dear to all of us. In Trinidad and Tobago, everyone has a story about having to go and line up in the hot sun, wait long lines, go back,
sit down and fill out a form, issue of a file missing,
go home to get this document, get that.
I remember working in medical records at one point in time and having to deal with physical files.
As citizens, all of us look at these processes and we scratch our head and ask, why do these things have to be so slow? Why do they have to be so antiquated? Why does the process have to be so painful? And you can see that the Ministry of Digitization and the new Ministry of Implementation is taking steps to try to make these processes simpler, faster, and more efficient for all our citizens.
So the introduction of technology and digitization of these services is really important for me.
And that's going to bring ease to you, the citizen, and of course improve productivity.
A new chapter for TNT. We're ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That is not fanciful. That is a real tangible thing that the PNM under Prime Minister Stuart Young is going to do and promised to do. That is no fanciful thing. Let me go again.
And the very first pillar that our vision sits on speaks to investing in our most precious asset, which is our young people.
The PIPE program, which is a plumbing, training, and apprenticeship program. It's a crane operations program, mobile crane operations, tower crane operations, boom truck.
We are taking 40 influencers into schools, various schools that will send us for immersion education so that these movers and shakers could really impact the young people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Real things, tangible things, not fanciful things. None of 40,000 to talk about no coders, no yellow. Real things, influencers who will really influence the young ones and the peers to want to be better, to want to do something. Not just no code and nothing behind it and all sort of ta-ta-ta-ta talk. Real tangible things. Oh, let me all in, you know. Let me go again.
Being a man from South, I fully understand the need for us to engage those in farming and food production.
We all go through this process of having to register as farmers, and I have gone through it myself, where we have to go and physically fill out a form, bring in our documents, have someone do the visit, and verify all of this information. Now, as we speak, there's an app for this that has been fully digitized, and I see a plan to actually look at the individual circumstances of farmers and create a tiered registration system, which is excellent. Farmers of various scales, capabilities, and utilizing technology like hydroponics can actually benefit now.
The initiative with respect to transforming that port in the Brae to include agro-processing, to be a center of excellence for export and trade in that, is something that's going to transform Southwest Trinidad and Tobago. And Southwest Trinidad will show the rest of the country and the world via this initiative in this manifesto that we will contribute more than oil and gas in this bold new chapter for Trinidad and Tobago.
A new chapter for TNT. We're ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That is not no fanciful idea. That is real, tangible thing, and it's young people saying it, not old people like me. Young people. When you look on the other side, the leader can't walk, I see a motorcade, wherever it is. If you see the road in Pinal, Pinal is not part of the constituency. If you see hole and a dirty looking like dirt, all kind of thing, nobody complaining about our cheesy representative for the she didn't even coming out. We Prime Minister got jump out the vehicle here and walk, run across so. Yes, I security running so, and then jump back on that truck and think, normal. I see two scrape up. Listen to me, that's all this songing. I don't mean to be disrespectful to you. Two scrape ups. Singing on the stage and whatever, and camera trying to dance. Listen, if you see how worried, the rest of them will stand up and say watching, you're going to feel like she toppled over. And it's just what Ms. Shamfa Kojo Lewis really saying truth. I'm paraphrasing. She said, all here, she pointed, she said, you. I just call her name, you. Khadija, you ain't going and vote. You ain't going and vote because whatever feelings you have and all kind of thing. But you know, Rockman, going and vote. They don't care if Kamala could stand up, she twists so in a wheelchair, they no business, they go in and vote. They don't care whether she thief, she lie, she drink, she drunk, she fall down, they don't care. They go in and vote, Rookman, them go in and vote. But, I just call in names at all. But Khadija, I ain't going. Me ain't going out and learn from nobody because they do for me. Rookman is studying what they do, you know, Rookman knows she had to go and vote. And while they're saying, as MP Shamfa could just say, oh, we is a cult, and if they put a crapo in a Balizeta, you go vote for it. That is not true. If you put a crapo in a rising sun tie, they will vote for it. That is more true. That is more true. But they don't like to hear that. Who more cultish than them? Propping up a woman who it is alleged nothing is wrong in that because you get older, these things happen, you drip, you think. But based on the fact, me no doctor, but based on the fact that she's diabetic, she's diabetic. We hear talk that she does drink and she's a smoker, she older now. It is possible that she can retain the waters because we did heard she had was to outfit the whole helicopter. And that's why she was taking helicopter to reach down fast. So something so because like she can't hold wee. So we hear now it is alleged she wee in the pampa. That is alleged, Papa. I am not glorifying that. I am not thinking because I know there are a lot of people who have challenges with the blood and all that. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman who wants to be a leader. And nothing if you want to be a leader, and that's the issue. But the thing is, you can't have all them other complications. You can't walk good. You can't stand up good. You're looking to fall down. No. There is a time you have to say, listen, wrap it up, go home and relax yourself. That's what I'm talking about. So don't get me wrong. Okay. So let me continue. I don't just talk straight. And if you want to go and say, I say whatever it is, I don't talk with water. In my mouth, if I say it, I go say, yes, I did say that. And if I want to cut up my tape and put what I didn't say, I go get a lawyer. Because all of we have lawyer clothes, I have courthouse clothes, just something black and something white. I'm sure I could get a lawyer pro bono. Don't cut up my tape and lie. I see Miss Rachel Price had to come out and tell people, don't take she tape on them and put things she didn't say, because that's what they love to do. Or they don't want the truth. Or they're cutting up people tape and putting them and lying and saying this and saying that. But I tell them, once I say it, I go tell them, yes, I say it, because I don't talk with water in my mouth. And me don't lie. If me I say it and it's something not right, me go and get a lawyer. So that is what this government is doing for this country. And with the Prime Minister Stuart Young, those are the plans. Real plans. Plans that are already in progress. Real tangible things, nothing fanciful. Nothing that could take us to the IMF. And with a Prime Minister who could walk, who could talk, and who could sit and negotiate with anybody anywhere in the world. I have a piece of tape to play for all, when all they hear that. We say so, you know, since back in 2020, I think it was, yes, it was said about his negotiation skill. Don't worry, I go get it and play it. Only want to tell me, you could see Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Barry Paradat, Rudal Munilal, at Khadija Amin, David Lee, and them going and sit down in any conference internationally to talk on we behalf. Voting have consequences. Not voting have consequences. Actions have consequences, especially bad actions that is not in your interest. Have consequences to that, eh? Let me get this here, because I want to wrap up just now. Yes, let me see if I see this here. Let me tell you so much things that us have. Okay, I'm gonna take my time. Know what all you're doing, you know? Those say coulda, shoulda, and as on that, this is a message that came from Prime Minister Stuart Young on to his Catholic brothers and sisters, yeah, on the passing of the Pope. I join with my Catholic brothers and sisters in mourning the passing of Pope Francis. Pope Francis was a great and humble leader. He was the first Pope from the Southern Hemisphere and from the Americas, having been born in Argentina. Pope Francis focused on uplifting the poor and vulnerable, and in the modern world was known for his desire for peace and the promotion of international diplomacy. He approached modern topics with an open mind and was not afraid to suggest a need for change. He was a known advocate for actions on climate change and showed genuine concern with regards to the treatment of migrants and often called for more protection for migrants and others who found themselves in vulnerable circumstances. As we celebrate the life of Pope Francis, who passed away at the age of 88 today, I join with the Catholic Church in prayer that the next Pope will be chosen, mindful of the world we now live in and its challenges that we face as a people. On behalf of my family, the government, and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend my heartfelt condolences to the Catholic Church on the passing of a truly inspirational leader, Pope Francis. May his soul rest in eternal peace, O Lord, and may perpetual light shine upon him. Stuart R. Young, SC, Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago, April the 21st, 2025. This is what somebody wrote, Richard Zen O'Brien. That is what it says. It says, in exactly 1 week, TNT is going to the polls. Kamla Prasad Bisesa is yet to be seen walking in any constituency, including her own. The UNC is presenting someone to the country who they have limited to a campaign speeches and scripted Qs and A questions. I don't think they trust her to even hold a baby. And the media stays silent. Me didn't say so. Somebody else write, because people write it now, Papa. Written by Dennis Ramsey, and it says, lady, blah, blah. Stuart boots getting worn, but show red runners pounding this country too. From front gate down to busy blocks, he meets the people, not for photo ops. No script in hand, just open air, talks through worries, doubt, and fears. Turbulent times, he does not sway. A man who is focused day by day. And Kamla, well, she just sits on stage talking to her converted in their cage. Asks for plans, she lost the trend. Blah, blah, blah was all the lady said. Imagine Lady Blah, blah is their lead to fight the storm and succeed. After sober reflection, she may reappear to tell her faithful how much she cared. This country needs a spine, not just a spin. A leader built for this world's crazy din. The world is storming, nerves are raw, one in the ring and one on the floor. Not my word, it's from somebody called Dennis Ramsey. People are speaking out because people fed up. This is real plans.
I really appreciate the focus on diversification because, of course, while our energy sector is our strength, we need to jump off into other areas in our economy and start to build, grow, and strengthen that.
We are more than oil and gas in Trinidad and Tobago. We are more than manufacturing. We are the cultural capital of soca, of calypso, of steel pan, of chutney, of old mass, carnival. We have given birth to so much festivals the world over. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry across the world. This council will give all persons who have a stake in the culture and creative industry so that we can develop and go forward.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Those are the economic plans that this Prime Minister, this new chapter, has for this country. And people say, oh, he was there for 10 years and do nothing. Was he the Prime Minister for the past 10 years? He was in a supporting role. He was not the boss. So the vision of the boss at that time was what he did, what the boss did at that time, and people supported. Now that Prime Minister Stuart Young is in the seat, then the things that he envisioned is what he's going to put forward. And as far as I can see, without being biased, his plans and the plans that he has to develop this country is not fanciful, nor is it full of rhetoric, because in some instances it's already happening. And his focus is a lot on young people, because we always say young people are the future. And young people have always said old people don't listen, and too much old people. So now you get an opportunity to let your voices be heard. They're going to tell me, oh, they're not going out to vote. Well, at least some of them, because these young ladies I play, and there are some other young persons, because Senator Bika is a young man, and the other gentleman also, I didn't get his name proper, he's also a young man. They are speaking out, right? They are speaking out, they are taking part, they are standing up and being counted. And let me show you why people are so enthused with this new chapter of the People's National Movement, because we were blessed to be taken out of the recession 2015, and then through COVID-19 2020 under the leadership of Dr. K. Christopher Rowley, and now we're on a different path. These things happen in life. You go in Form 1, the teachers used to teach you one way, think when they got to Form 2 is a different thing, but it's the same school. Yeah? The PNM, same party. However, they are different chapters of the People's National Movement. One time, we were fighting for independence, then we got it. Another chapter was republicanism, we got that. The next chapter was all the infrastructure, all the development, Point Lisas, all that. Then we had another structure coming out of the Caroni and the sugarcane. We had all that development. Then there's another chapter, and we keep moving on and moving on. A party that does not progress or does not change with the times is a dead party. And the UNC is a dead party. They haven't changed at all. The philosophy remains the same, in my opinion. That philosophy is a Hindu philosophy, and that philosophy reeks of racism. They have been reincarnated about 7 times from the days of PDP, DLP, SDLP, then was the agriculture farmer something, then it was ULF, then it was Club 88, and then it was UNC, and then it was PP, and then it going back to UNC. The People's National Movement has remained steady as a rock, 1956 to now. And even their own was steady. The only party to take you out of the chaos and the mayhem is the People's National Movement. And the C-SPAN, they say put your X by the body, say. Freudian slips, mean it in the subconscious. And this is the energy that people's getting.
Feel my love unfolding like a laughing flame. All who did not know me when you're done, they gon' know the name. Million people coming down, dancing to a song. Love is life and life is love. Blessings come above. Can you feel the love that's in the air? With the feeling that we hear you say, I'm still moving everywhere.
That is who our Prime Minister is. And anybody who want to tell all you that we Prime Minister, we member Parliament, Stuart Richard Young SC, don't know how to relate to the ground, and the ground don't like him and nobody like him, they're wicked and they're jealous. They're wicked and they're jealous because the kind of love we member Parliament does get, because he always on the ground with we. Them, the 100% piece of filth, can't get that. But again, people, April the 20th, you have a choice to make. Don't sit on home and say you ain't going and vote. And then when the night comes, you say you coulda, shoulda, woulda, because by that time it's too late. And we go end up with Kamala Persad and she corrupt, thieving, kleptocratic government in office who will take me straight to the IMF, and we live through the IMF days of the NAR. People lost their work, lost their job, lost their desk, lost their house, family breakup, family mash up, children childless, fatherless, motherless. It was a mess. Because they have no plans. They don't know what, they didn't tell you where they get any money from. Nothing. And they can't negotiate nothing. Nothing. Kevin Ramnarine calls this country 900 billion, I think it is US dollars, in a Japanese deal. The only deal he make. And it's this same Prime Minister, Minister Energy, had to fly out to Japan on the instruction with Prime Minister then to deal with it. Otherwise, you had to go to the IMF to pay the Japanese their money. All over the world, all negotiators know Stuart. Imagine he was a keynote speaker in the International Forum of Negotiators. They know him in the boardrooms as Stuart, first name. They will call him. Not in Trinidad alone, all over the world. Anybody know Kamala Persad right in the Caribbean, CARICOM, see me want to remember she, because we should do with Jamaica and all the choppiness used to be saying. Well, I know President Maduro ain't had no time, because after she hug up the man and game gift and come here all that, she started to say the man is narco terrorist and all kind of damn thing she started to talk. That way the man had to say, why is she getting on so? Because he did whining man, he did dying him, all kind of thing, and they talk him about. So we know very well Venezuela had nothing to do with them. Oh, let's stay on the right track. Let me see all we here, people. April the 28th. Estella Joel Davison, Alicia Fillmore, The Blade, Diane, what do you think on? Glennis, Nadia, Rosa, Paula, Cardine, Lucy, Chris Curtis, Charles, Leslie, Ruben, Andre, Joanne, Lynette, Cassie, Michael, Yolanda, Tessa, Jack, Marva, Heather, Vilma, Kathleen, Augusto, Angela, Anne-Marie, Loretta, Patricia, Olive, Joseph, Ricardo, Hollister, Jonathan, Herbert, Joan, Phyllis, Maria, Christopher, Herman, Michael, Cheryl, Philomen, Kathleen, Bolty, Miguel Bolty, I see, Rookman. It's our next one, Rookman Gangat. Can't remember she right now. Sandra, Everett, Jennifer, Brenda, Lauren, Lumaine, Papa, Marcia, Arlene, Cheryl, Natasha, Donna, Garcia, Vernie, Omega, Hazel, Lee, Oscar, did you forget the A? Or is it Oscar? I don't know. Delano, Helen Russell has some Pleasantville, Hadara, Shelton, Anton, Charles, family from Puna, Diane, Sarah, Ingrid, Mona. Hey, I didn't know her name Mona, you know. Miss Mona. I will get. Anyway, I ain't going there now. Pat. People, April the 28th. It's right there, you know. Oh, they know everything. And if I don't want to sit down and be complacent, I'm up in on feelings, because I know one right now, she up and she feelings. For what? You don't always get what you want. But when you get lemons, you make lemonades. And you have to know how to shift and turn with the tides and look at the greater good. Even the young people talk the lesser two evils. I don't agree with them with that, but I understand the concept. The devil you know is the devil you know, and the devil you don't know. But that young people talk the thing, and she talking straight. We know this, you know. You see that day? We ain't get nobody no try no chance for that long time thing. The times right now too volatile with a President Trump in office in America. Too volatile to give people a chance. There are no chance here. We going not what we got. And we know what we got. A negotiator. This wrong's called for a negotiator. It ain't called for a doctor. It ain't called for a shoemaker. It ain't called for a cook. It calls for a negotiator who study that and have all the necessary requirements in law, labor law, this law, that law. He's the right man, right time. This is the time. This is we time. This is Trinidad and Tobago time. This is a new chapter time. This is we going into the digital age in confidence and not frightened and not afraid. And to the elderly, again, there's nothing to fear. I hear a woman saying, oh, he go cut the CPAP and he go, all who think so that's automatic anything. Why would the PNM cut those programs where they implemented as government policy? Think about it. Really? Those programs were developed to help who? Come on, man. A lot of people fool all, when all they hear that, all they say, that ain't true. So there's not going to be no cut. You know who they cut? CPAP. Wasn't it PNM when they come in, they take away contract from all the African contractors asking a question and give it all across the Carmi Bridge? Wasn't them who do that? Only then fray them and send them all who they think is PNM people on board that is fire everybody. Only then fray them and then lock up over 9,000 African youths around the Nelsons, around the same east-west corridor, want to walk now to tell me they love we. Only then fray them. But only afraid our government that has always put government policies in place that everybody enjoying to this day. All of them who complain about this government, they have been enjoying government policies, PNM government policies all their life, and they didn't even know. So people come out and vote in the numbers, come out and vote convincingly to those marginal seats, to Kuva and Shogunas and them areas that is not traditionally PNM. Come out and support the PNM candidate, please. And even in the stronghold, come out more than ever. Because if I have a man down here, I want to call him on the 29th, I want to give him his first name is Scott, his second name is Ass. And in the middle, I give him 2 middle names. 1% filth. So we cut 1% filth, Ass. Well, I know disappointment. Yeah? So people, love you all. See you all on Wednesday, God's Spear. When I come with something for something new, and if I have anything in between, I'll come in because this week is space, This week is space, and I just tell it all, this is it. This is it. This is when I sink or we float. Me ain't want to sink because me can't even float. I want to be walking, stand up straight, not drunk and tittering and falling down and nobody toting me. I want a prime minister who could talk logically, who came out to watch a paper and who will go, blah, 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 blah. And I'm mine and all kind of damn thing. We ain't getting that. We're going there. Young, we strong, we energetic, we moving on. Young people come out, do a civic duty. Plenty people died first, have the right to vote. Adult suffrage. There's a time we can vote, woman can vote. People without land and property can vote. We have that right now. Don't throw it away. Don't make no joke with it. Make it count. And when the PNM is in office, form your groups, form your pressure groups, and go to a member of parliament and have a conversation for the things that you want, the things they say in the manifesto and all that. That's how a developed society operates. You hold them accountable for the manifesto, but you have to go and vote for them. In the absence of that, you can vex if they didn't fulfill what they said they go fulfill. But go and vote for them. And when it's over, form your groups. And if you see something that they said was going to do ever, go and ask your member of parliament why, how, what, get an answer. Yeah. People, love you all. See you all on Wednesday, God's Spirit.
Ready, ready, show me who ready, ready, show me who ready, ready. This is the time, this is the place. The future is here, no time to waste. We build on the strength of those who trod this road before. Coming again, coming again. Cause I feel the light shining so bright in me heart and we soul. Red, black and white, together we strong. Come sun, come rain, cause it's blood in we veins. We all are the same. You don't know we ready already. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we ready already. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. We under the same sky, feeling the same things. The movement is forward, we all want the same thing. Together we aspire, so we must achieve. Call the Red Army, the whole of TNT. So show them we ready already, the thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we ready already, the thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Fire in the soul, a nation so strong. Through the heart of a people, the victory is won. We fight for tomorrow, we fight for today. Stand strong together, blow the evil away. If we are one, the victory is sure. Divide and rule, we don't want that no more. Clean heart, clean hands, it's love to the core. And if love is the word, how about that we show? You don't know. So tell them you're ready already. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we ready already. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we ready and ready. Thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. No.
Be all in for TNT on April 28th. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.